In the middle of the Pacific Ocean lies an island where towering canyons pierce the sky, and mist-shrouded forests hold secrets as old as time itself. Welcome to Taiwan. This, my friends, is a story about rediscovering what makes us feel truly alive. And sometimes that means going into the dark, getting off the beaten path, and losing your stuff. Actually, would not recommend that last part, but you get the idea. Before I start, I want to say that my heart goes out to those in Taiwan who earlier this year suffered a massive 7.4 earthquake that devastated Hualien and Taroko Canyon. This video is my tribute to the majestic park that inspired me so much on this trip. The first stop is Hualien, a sleepy town 2 hours train ride from Taipei. The first thing that surprised me was just how many scooter rentals there are. I've never ridden a scooter in my life, but yeah, if there was going to be a time to do it, it was here.
I think we have arrived. Are you also at the World's Inn? Yeah. Okay, good stuff.
I approached this trip very different from how I usually do it. Instead of planning everything out, I just booked 3 nights at a hostel and figure things out based on how I feel when I'm there.
No, where's your roommate
That's
from?
super cool.
Meet Una. She runs the World Inn together with her husband. They are seasoned globetrotters who started this hostel to provide a true home to backpackers like myself. This would become my favorite stay in Taiwan because of their hospitality.
Good job. Good job.
I was up by 6:30 and it felt like preparing for battle. I'd be lying if I wasn't scared and excited about my first real scooter ride into Taroko Canyon National Park of all places. Pretty soon, it became second nature as I got settled into the flow of the windy roads.
Well, we are finally here. Let's take off all these layers of clothing. So today we're hitting up the Liu Sui Wensan Trail, which is actually a bit hidden in the middle of the tunnel, which is super fucking cool. We've already got a bit of a scramble using rope, so a good sign that this is going to be a very, very fun trail. I'm taking it slowly at this point. It's not every day that I get to savor so much beauty. Where I am walking across now is the site of a very old Taroko tribe village.
Taiwan's history is a complex one, having been occupied by many countries for its strategic position between China, Japan, and the Philippines. The island itself is home to at least 16 indigenous tribes. This park is named after Taroko people who still call this place home. Today, you can find remnants of old Taroko villages and infrastructure like roads and walls of when the Japanese controlled the region over 100 years ago. I was asked by a fellow traveler why I always have to look for meaning in everything. It was honestly an excellent question. Sometimes we need the lightness of meaningless things to balance out the heaviness of the meaningful. Otherwise, life gets too serious and we get caught up in even the smallest things. Nature itself is the ultimate random, miraculous meaninglessness. It does not give a shit about us. And yet, everything works and we are alive. Maybe that's why I have so much fun and freedom when I immerse myself in it, even as it humbles me.
This is going to be very interesting. Because of the rockfall risk, I do not want to linger for too long. See all this? This is just what's keeping the loose rock back. And down there is the gorge, which is insane.
I was burning daylight, but I found a hidden trail down the gorge, and I just couldn't help myself. The river was mesmerizing. After crashes, it quickly disperses until all the tiny bubbles are gone, scattered. This happens endlessly for millions of years. This scene will continue long after I'm gone. I'm but a brief flash of light in nature's eyes. Yet there is something comforting and liberating about this thought. All my worries are just so small in the face of vast time and space.
That is my beautiful ride. Taroko, it has been real. I'm gonna miss this place.
I'm so grateful for Taroko. Its majesty speaks directly to my soul. Blazing through the gorge was a spiritual experience. All my senses melded with the road, the cliffs, the river, the mountains, and the clouds. There was no longer shame, just presence. It's been so long since I felt this alive. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to Una, so I wrote in the guest book, vowing to be back one day. After Taroko, I was inspired to explore more of Taiwan on two wheels.
Okay, first stop, scooter rental. Let's find one.
The next stop was Alishan, a mountainous region where some of the world's finest tea is grown in cool, mist-shrouded plantations. It's a place of stunning ancient forests, where tea making is a way of life. And I'm about to experience exactly that by staying on a tea farm. That is, if I can find it.
So we got some insane fog. The visibility is like nothing. So we'll see how we find our Airbnb. Apparently, arrived.
I love early mornings. The feel so aligned with the flow of nature. My body is awake and my senses sharp.
We're off to do our first hike, so we'll see. I have no idea what to expect. I mean, it looks so different during the day. It's so pretty.
Stillness has played a significant role in my growth. Without it, I would not be able to appreciate the small things around me, from the texture of the bamboo to the light passing through the trees, or even the joy of connecting with another human being. Without stillness, life passes by in a blur. As the composer Debussy once said, music is the space between the notes. As I hiked up the mountain, I reflected on how farmers take it easy in the winter between harvest periods, a pre-industrial way of life that revolved around the seasons. Each day's rhythm is dictated by how long the sun was up. There was a time for rest, and then there was a time for action. Whereas today in modern cities, we are divorced from nature, staying up 24/7, 365 by artificial lighting, giving no opportunity for us to truly rest and relax. This was something that led to my own burnout for this trip. I made it back to my bed and breakfast just in time for a home-cooked meal. My host was already at his table showing me how he makes tea every morning.
And just like how writing for me is important as a morning ritual, so for him, tea is a way of life.
With my belly full, it was time to get back on the road. The beauty of solo travel is that I can go down whatever path that strikes my fancy in the moment. As I rode back home, I saw this ridiculously gorgeous golden light shining through the trees and noticed a steep gravel road leading down to the forest below.
Guys, today is an unreal day to ride. It reminds me of Napa, which is the winemaking region of California, except tea.
The weather got even better, and I was ready to ride deeper into the Alishan Mountains. Doing this trip alone gave me the time to think about the crazy year I had, all the changes and challenges I overcame to arrive here. In many ways, I was returning to the younger, simpler me who lived for the thrill of exploration. The people I admired most live relatively simple lives. They came to the simpler lifestyle by living through complexity and challenges first. In other words, their simplicity represents their intentionality. They chose it for themselves. On the other hand, people who cram their lives with lots of complexity are not always intentional. Instead, they may simply be following the crowd.
We are finally checking in. Oh wow. Hello. It's like the biggest room I've gotten so far. My 1% battery, that's how I feel right now too. Good morning, good morning. It is gorgeous here today. The train tracks are there. Those are abandoned. And then we're also gonna climb to the very, very top. Ooh.
This no planning thing is really working out. Every day I'm pleasantly surprised rather than expecting a certain thing to happen. I do admit that it takes a certain level of courage to do this, a state that I'm beginning to feel more at home with. I wonder how I can live this way in normal work life where a specific outcome is desired or even required. Where does randomness exist alongside specific goals and metrics?
I am walking along the Mianyue Line, which has been damaged by typhoons and earthquakes. So this is definitely kind of like a natural disaster area. And earlier I just saw some signs being posted, enter your own risk. Just walking on this abandoned train track tunnels. It's pretty nuts. Holy moly. Wow, okay. I get across over there. There's a reason why this train track was stopped twice, so they kind of just gave up on it at this point. So these steel rods, the only thing that is holding these massive amounts of rocks in place. The only direction that we're going is forward. Wow, it's getting really dark. This is gonna be really interesting. We discovered a path. It literally goes deeper and deeper. Jeez, okay. Not this time, maybe in the future. We're turning back. This is a very, very cool discovery. Wow, 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 wow. It's really interesting to see that how nature reclaims these train tracks so quickly as soon as you get past a natural barrier, and then you're really back into garden trail. This tree is incredible. It's over 1,000 years old, and get this is actually 2 generations of trees lumped together. It almost seems to defy gravity, like how it arcs right here, it's hollow, and then boom, you have like a ginormous tree growing on top of it. Really high up. It's a nice reward for coming up all the way here. Wow. Holy moly. Check out this mist. Look at how quickly it rises. This, my friends, is the real peak. Steep drop down. Even I will not get that close to the edge, honestly, especially because with these lichen, it's actually extremely slippery. Because you never know what you're going to encounter in the wild. Today was actually okay. Like I went through some bramble, and so just a few light cuts. We got about 1.5 hours before the sun sets, so I'm just gonna take a nap, chill, and we'll see what happens. Well, this is life in the truest sense. We made it to the top of the world An ocean of clouds.
Summiting the highest peak of Alishan was a fitting end to my 3 weeks in Taiwan. It gave me the vantage point I've always sought after in life, reminding me to gain some perspective whenever I feel overwhelmed in the fog of the world. I have a theory about Taiwan. It's a country that is content with a simple way of life. What I saw were ordinary people desiring simple things. A place to live, having fun with friends, being there for family, and finding jobs that they enjoy. No one is out to save the world. Yet their world feels warmer, safer, and closer to paradise in the high-tech, fast-paced Silicon Valley that I come from, where everyone wants to be outwardly extraordinary. At a deep personal level, traveling has rekindled my love for people and adventure. There are things I've been on the fence about before coming here, but it's becoming clear that I could take action on them sooner than later. Life is short. Go take some risks.
So this was interesting. I was trying to do a really cool shot and it fell down this cliff. And now I skilled using this wire thing. The good thing is that we got our pack. Now we just gotta get the fuck out of here. This is so intense. Okay, that was a little bit too much adventure for. Literally fell straight into the blackness. I think we're ready to go back down.